The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric as thousands of passionate rugby fans filled every seat, eagerly anticipating one of the most exciting international clashes of the season. On one side stood the legendary All Blacks, a team respected across the rugby world for their fearless mentality, incredible discipline, and winning tradition. Standing opposite them was a confident French side determined to prove they had what it takes to overcome one of the greatest teams in rugby history. Long before the opening whistle, everyone knew this contest had the potential to become an unforgettable battle. France began the match with remarkable confidence. Rather than sitting back and waiting for opportunities, they immediately attacked with speed, intelligence, and creativity. At the center of almost every dangerous move was Matthieu Jalibert, whose outstanding vision and fearless style of play instantly challenged the New Zealand defense. Instead of choosing the safe option, he constantly searched for gaps, delivered perfectly weighted kicks behind defenders, and forced the All Blacks into uncomfortable situations. Every time he received possession, excitement spread throughout the stadium because supporters sensed that something special could happen. As the first half unfolded, Matthieu Jalibert continued to demonstrate why he is regarded as one of the most gifted playmakers in world rugby. His ability to read the game allowed France to build wave after wave of dangerous attacks. His clever running lines repeatedly stretched the All Blacks' defensive structure, creating opportunities not only for himself but also for his teammates. His determination was eventually rewarded with a brilliant try that reflected his outstanding performance. It was a moment that highlighted his confidence, creativity, and willingness to take responsibility when his team needed inspiration. Despite the pressure, the All Blacks never allowed frustration to take control. One of the greatest strengths of New Zealand rugby has always been the ability to remain calm during difficult moments, and this match once again proved exactly why they have earned that reputation. Instead of panicking, they trusted their system, relied on their experience, and gradually found ways to respond to France's relentless attacks. Their patience slowly shifted the momentum back in their favor. One player who experienced an unforgettable evening was young fly half Ruben Love. Making one of the biggest starts of his international career, his night began in dramatic fashion after an early tackle immediately caught the attention of the match officials. The incident sparked discussion among players, coaches, commentators, and supporters. For several tense moments, it seemed his dream opportunity could turn into a nightmare. Every young athlete fears making a costly mistake on one of the biggest stages in international sport. However, true champions are often defined by how they respond after difficult moments. Rather than allowing that early setback to affect his confidence, Ruben Love showed tremendous mental strength. He returned to the game with renewed determination and refused to disappear from the action. Every pass became more accurate, every decision became more composed, and every attacking movement reflected growing confidence. Standing opposite one of the world's finest fly halves could have intimidated many young players, but Ruben Love embraced the challenge with remarkable maturity. By the time the final whistle sounded, what had begun as a worrying evening had transformed into one of the most encouraging performances of his young international career. His growing partnership with experienced fullback Damian McKenzie quickly became one of the biggest talking points of the evening. The combination provided balance throughout New Zealand's attack. While Ruben Love calmly controlled the game from first receiver, Damian McKenzie used his speed, awareness, and attacking instincts to create opportunities in wider areas of the field. As their understanding improved throughout the match, the All Blacks became increasingly dangerous whenever they moved the ball through multiple phases. For Damian McKenzie, this performance carried extra significance. Only a short time earlier, he had endured one of the most disappointing performances of his recent career. Questions had been raised about his confidence, while critics wondered whether he could quickly recover from such a difficult experience. Rugby can be unforgiving, where one disappointing performance often leads to heavy criticism and public doubt. Instead of responding with words, Damian McKenzie answered every question through his performance. From the opening exchanges, he looked refreshed, confident, and determined to remind everyone of his exceptional ability. His positioning was outstanding, his distribution remained calm under pressure, and his attacking decisions consistently troubled the French defense. One perfectly timed long pass created valuable space that immediately placed France under pressure. Every attacking run demonstrated the explosive pace and creativity that have made him one of New Zealand's most exciting players. Rather than dwelling on previous disappointment, he embraced the opportunity to rebuild both his confidence and his reputation. As the game became more physical and intense, Damian McKenzie continued to influence almost every important attacking movement. Operating from deeper positions allowed him to accelerate into open space, forcing defenders to make split-second decisions. Whenever he entered the attacking line, supporters sensed that another moment of brilliance could be just seconds away. Before kickoff, another important selection decision had attracted significant attention. Many supporters questioned who should partner Jordie Barrett in the midfield. The coaching staff faced a difficult decision because several talented players were competing for the same position. After careful consideration, head coach Dave Rennie placed his trust in Quinn Tupaea, believing his physicality, defensive work, and consistency would strengthen the All Blacks. That decision proved to be completely justified. Throughout his time on the field, Quinn Tupaea produced one of the finest performances of his international career. Defensively, he delivered powerful tackles that disrupted France's rhythm and prevented dangerous attacks from developing. In attack, his aggressive running consistently challenged defenders and created valuable momentum for New Zealand. Perhaps even more impressive was his intelligent passing game. Time after time, he released teammates into space with perfectly timed distribution, allowing the All Blacks to maintain attacking pressure. Every successful carry, every dominant tackle, and every accurate pass reinforced Dave Rennie's faith in his selection. Although competition for midfield positions will undoubtedly continue throughout the season, Quinn Tupaea showed that earning a starting jersey would require exceptional performances from everyone competing for the role. The match itself remained incredibly close from beginning to end. Neither team managed to completely dominate proceedings for long periods. Every successful attack was answered by an equally determined response from the opposition. Momentum constantly shifted from one side to the other, leaving supporters on the edge of their seats throughout the contest. The atmosphere inside the stadium became even more intense as the final stages approached. France refused to accept defeat. Their players continued attacking with courage, intelligence, and belief, refusing to abandon their game plan even after conceding important points. Every possession represented another opportunity to change the outcome, while every attacking movement reminded everyone of the immense talent within the French squad. The All Blacks, however, relied on experience when the pressure reached its highest level. Instead of forcing risky plays, they trusted one another, controlled possession carefully, and managed the tempo with remarkable composure. Their discipline during the closing moments ultimately became one of the biggest reasons they managed to stay ahead. As the final minutes ticked away, tension filled every corner of the stadium. The scoreboard reflected just how evenly matched both teams had been throughout the evening. Players pushed themselves beyond their physical limits, knowing that one tackle, one pass, or one moment of brilliance could determine the final result. When the referee finally blew the final whistle, the All Blacks celebrated a dramatic 34-32 victory after one of the most thrilling international rugby matches of the year. It was a victory built on resilience, teamwork, belief, and the courage to respond under enormous pressure. Although France left the field disappointed, they earned tremendous respect for producing a fearless and highly entertaining performance against one of rugby's greatest teams. For New Zealand, this victory represented far more than simply adding another win to the record books. It validated several important selection decisions made by Dave Rennie, restored confidence to key players such as Damian McKenzie, highlighted the maturity of Ruben Love, and confirmed that Quinn Tupaea had fully justified his place in the starting lineup. At the same time, Matthieu Jalibert reminded the rugby world why he remains one of France's most influential and dangerous playmakers, producing a performance that deserved admiration despite ending on the losing side. In the end, this unforgettable contest became far more than a simple rugby match. It showcased courage, determination, resilience, and belief at the highest level of international sport. Some players answered their critics, others rewarded the faith of their coaches, and millions of rugby fans witnessed a spectacular battle that will remain one of the most memorable clashes of the season. The atmosphere